Well, good evening. It's me, Suze Pratt, with your latest hot gossip and your most up to date information on how people play with you online and mess with your computer. Now, I've learned something very interesting for all you friends. Like we documented and verified earlier in our troll video, somehow they were accessing or trying to play with me through the iPhone, not the Mac computer. So, what does that say about security on your cellular phones? And that's why, for my entire life, I never had one. You see, I don't talk on it, I just use it to record live action. And that's how I've been coming to you guys, like you know. So, let's share the intel first. As you remember, they messed with Billy Cox and tried to hack through to me. And I said, is it possible that people would actually use innocent friends of mine to try to get to me? Now, let's talk about an innocent friend of mine. Here we have a young woman of 16 years old, a girl that works hard, gets good grades, helps people that are suffering, runs the cheetah movement for young people and people that are struggling with wanting to stay alive. Okay? So, anyhow, this young woman is wanting to write a book. And so she typed in a message to me earlier. And what I said to her was, the best thing that I had ever heard because, of course, I've been wanting to write my book. It's called My Hairdresser's a What? It's funny, isn't it? I've been wanting to write it for years. Back in the day, I thought it would just be about the salon experience and, all the dirty little things that happen in the hair industry. But of course, I'm sure you realize over the years that it was going to turn into way more than hair. So anyhow, back when I was trying to write my book, Kenedra, back when I had a moment of time before I moved to Ferguson and got involved in all the phenomena in my new life with Joe, I read something that said, you go ahead and create the different subjects that would be each one of your chapters in your book, and you write a page on it. And that way, you can start to see your book come to life. And from there, you can branch out and write more pages. But it gives you a focus for 30 days. So you could write 30 chapters in 30 days, theoretically. And that's what I was thinking about doing back in the day. But anyhow, so I'm going to share a screen and show you Kenedra's message. And we are live on Facebook and also via Zoom Room Pro. I need to have time to write my book, Kenedra, because my book's going to rock too, sister. But anyhow, all right. So she says to me, and this is just about 6 minutes ago. Earlier on, we were talking, and we have a documented time at 8:45, but of course, we're not in constant conversation, and I was watching a show with the love of my life, but, that's okay. So anyhow, I had given her that, these words of wisdom, and then we talk a little bit more. And like I said, it was about 6 minutes ago, and she says, it says you're typing ... weird. And then she asked me, is someone else on my page? And I typed to her, hackers are trying to get me. Think through iPhone. Please capture image for me. Need proof. And I told her I can go live and talk about it in 9 minutes. Now check the answer out, friends. She says, okay, it just stopped after you said something. I'm so serious, with exclamation points. and she says, chills, dot, dot, dot. I'll screenshot immediately once it happens again. Now, of course, you see when you call it out, pretty much, I mean, they have to stop because they're realizing, is all this risk worth it? Now, of course, if this is actually, say Mel or Biggie, well, sure, it's worth it to stop me. I mean, my goodness. But as far as any little people that are just low level players, why would they risk this? Now, like I've told you, I think there's a big group of hackers, and I think that they're after everybody. It's not personally just me. This is a takedown of freedom. This is a spiritual battle. This is whether or not we will have a place where we can conduct ethical, moral conversations with people and engage in whatever new business paradigm is coming our way. Because obviously, small business has been biting the dust here in the United States since I opened back in 1985. Excuse me a minute. Yeah. Oh, good. You going to look at something? Yeah. Yeah. Joe just told me he was going online, and I know what that means, because he's going to look at something, which means he's going to look at his eyelids. But anyhow, back to what I was saying. This is a battle for the airwaves. This is a battle for the heart brains. So, if you're a friend of mine, please protect yourself. And even if you're not a friend of mine, please protect yourself, because like I told you, all the things that you do are being registered in this computer, in this AI intelligence, in this machine, and you still don't get it. See, you can talk all day long about the mechanics of something, but you daggum well better remember that there is a divine benevolent force in charge. It's either that or we're all done. I mean, take your pick. So I will continue to talk. I will continue to witness. I will continue to watch my computer like a hawk. So, love you guys. Never fear. Walk strong. And like I said, if anybody gets anything, just document it, take a screenshot, do something. I mean, you can put it on your Facebook. You can open your own YouTube channel, because you see right here, you've got people that aren't even real people that just come on to harass. So surely anyone could have a YouTube channel where they put all their stuff, right? And remember, this is the parasite after being cremated, and this is it after being crushed. So here again, please realize that I'm a parasite crusher, and I don't play around. Now, I got something funny here, and it goes with the story. So since we're Facebook Live, I mean, I've always got to provide you with a little comedy and some really good entertainment. Now, I don't want to give away my big surprise, but this is a perfect time to tell you that I am so excited about Sophia's Emporium Big Valentine show that will be upcoming on February 14th. That's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, my sweetie, Mr. Vic, and I are going to give you the surprise of your life. I've got two of them, actually. And this kind of ties to it. You know, I like to give people just enough information for them to get excited and wonder what's going on. So tell your friends, everybody, we are going to have a lot of love and a lot of fun. I'm looking so forward to it. So I don't know if some of my younger friends like Kenedra is going to know who this guy is, but this is Tom Jones. And, you know, well, like, let's say my mom, I mean, she was in love with this hunk of man right here. Everybody thought he was hot. And of course, I hope you know Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But for somebody 16, this clip is pretty old. I mean, you might have not even been in kindergarten, girl. Oh, 1993. Okay, so that's 23 years ago. Wow. You weren't even born. Okay, so anyhow, enjoy this, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. This is great. Here you go.
Oh my God, it's Tom Jones. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm your guardian angel.
No offense, Tom, but I always thought my guardian angel would be black.
Why, you understand me?
Well, anyway, I'm glad you came. So,
I know. Break it down to me.
huh?
Tell me what's wrong.
Well, it's kind of hard to put into words. I know. It's not unusual to have that be proud of me. It's not unusual that I love conformity. When I see that hanging with will instead of me, it's not unusual to see me cry.
Says my connection's weak. Maybe somebody's trying to hack me, huh? We've got love and light on our side. Our connection is strong.
Then you let him down. I blew it yesterday. My trust was gone away.
I plugged it in. Now we've got a hard line.
What you wanna do? Don't give yourself such a hard time. You're the best guardian angel a guy could ever ask for. But do you think you could change history so that I've never been born?
Well, not quite, but I could probably pull some strings and have you moved opposite Roseanne. But before I do that, I want you to see what things would be like if you didn't exist.
What happened? And where's Mom?
Well, without you, your family was defenseless against Will. You see, they started to focus on happiness instead of success. Your mother ran away with a milkman. Your father quit his practice to paint. Ashley does nothing but dance all day. And Hillary just does her hair. Well, maybe not everything changed.
But they're not making any money. I mean, so what if they're happy? I mean, how are they going to afford this house, our cars, our club memberships?
Well, they can't. They're going to lose it all. Happiness has ruined them.
I've got to save them. I've got to teach them about greed and social climbing and how to claim your dog as a dependent.
Now, that's the part I know. Maestro?
It's not unusual to feel bad at any time. It's not unusual to feel sad at any time. But if I ever ran into 10 any time, it's not unusual to find that I am there for you.
That's classic. I just had to add that in. You know, I look for the opportune times. Let me stop that share. Earlier the connection was weak, and so I plugged my cord in. I apologize if you were getting some disruption during that time, but the phone was charged. So, anyhow, in review, remember I told you the story about Scrooge. And for anybody that doesn't know the story of Scrooge, he's visited by some kind of a celestial specter and whisked off to a celestial court where his life is reviewed. And of course, it takes him a few looks back, but he decides to do the right thing and stay on the planet and take care of people and do the right thing. I also remember telling you guys that it was about 18 months ago, the first time I saw YouTube on this concept, that these wicked people that are not vibrating at least 51% love and light, the people that are on the tilt line or, still have issues that they think they've got worked out and talk shit about all day long. But anyhow, these people you see starting in that pyramid of the worst first and then work down, right? You take out the top first. So these top people get whisked off to this celestial court. Their Akasha is reviewed, which is their life record, not only in this lifetime, but in all their other multidimensional realities and different facets of who they've been through this eternal now. And they make a decision. Either they can get a clean soul, come back, do the right thing, change their life, turn it around, and quit messing around. Anyhow, if they don't want to do that, and there has been some that don't want to do it, they, give the finger to the divine creator, right? And their eternal mass, what they're made out of, goes in to build new stars, planets, and solar systems. Now, for all of you ding-dongs out there that don't believe that, especially if you're college-educated ding-dongs that like maybe went to medical school, Alex Gray. He's the guy that did all the artwork for Grey's Anatomy. We've talked about it. And he had a tormented childhood. He drew how he saw himself. He drew how he felt. He wrote about it. He talked about it. He went to college. He was an intern in a morgue. He poured some plaster of Paris in a recently passed woman's ear canal and then pulled the hard mold out of her ear so he could draw her cochlea, which offended her spirit because no doubt the spirit and the soul are very close to the body those first 3 days, which is why the story of Christ in the Bible, right? No matter what you think about that, it's cool. It's just something that should click and make you go, well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't take my best friend to the morgue and have him autopsied and chopped up, like right away. They don't like to see that stuff. So anyhow, Alex Gray gets whisked off to this celestial court, and he's in his 60s now, and he was in his 20s then, so I know you can do the math. There is no way that this is a new story. You can see it in any one of his books. He tells the story. It's not my story. Quit wanting to kill the messenger. I'm a friend. So anyhow, Alex gets given the same sentence. The woman gives her witness as to how her spirit was offended. And Alex says, yes, please, thank you very much. Comes back and does the right thing. So, we got this big full moon. Energies are at its highest. We also have some meteorite that's supposed to go whizzing by that you can see with a telescope. Somebody said it was green. And then we also have the eclipse. Now, it was a few nights ago when I burnt that parasite and told the stories. And of course, it's on my Facebook and on my YouTube as Sue's Pratt. But let me give you another piece of the puzzle. Here's what happened behind the scenes. I know y'all like honest gossip, stuff that makes you go, So anyhow, there was a couple ladies that I really don't have physical conversations with, but I know who they are. And they added me and another gal to their little circle. And, it came over Messenger and it said, anybody between the hours of midnight and 3 a.m., please light a candle. Please write your intentions down. If there's, whatever arises in you that could help, because we're going into serious, hardcore battles on all levels, guys. This is a major activation point. So I don't want anybody to be asleep or to be taken in by some false flag or to be at some dopey sporting event all tanked up when the time comes. I want everybody to be present. And it's even been suggested that, like I told you, you might wake up and your reality is completely changed. Or when you're asleep, you may encounter something that'll scare the ever-living piss out of you. So I'm not even trying to be scary. I'm just trying to be sincere. Let's come together. So this is your buddy Suze, the holistic stylist, signing off for the third time today. And don't get me wrong, I might be back too. So namaste and peace out from Sue's world. Bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, had a lot of problems with my Facebook Live. And like I told you, the hacker is trying to do this phone. So blow me sideways, whoever you are.